no provision is there for fuel subsidy. The fuel subsidy is gone.
That declaration by Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu on May 29, 2023 marked a seismic shift in Nigeria's economic landscape, reshaping the living conditions for millions. From soaring fuel prices to widespread hunger due to the high cost of food commodities, the Naira-For-Crude policy was introduced to reduce reliance on foreign exchange and bolster the Naira. The Naira-For-Crude deal aimed at stabilizing fuel prices by settling oil transactions in local currency faced scrutiny amidst persistent economic challenges. An oil expert, Ifeanyi Izeze, questions its effectiveness, arguing that the deal structure lacks the robustness to deliver promised stability.
It was supposed to be a short-term thing. It's not the solution to our downstream problem. Because if they are giving you crude in Naira, it has to be at the exchange rate of the dollar. So what's the difference? They're not going to give you crude. You are not going to price it. If the dollar is 1,500, they're not going to give you the crude at 1,000. You have to pay that same dollar exchange. Because on the long run, it's not going to work. The accounting standard in the oil industry is dollar-based everywhere, upstream, downstream, midstream. And even if you give them the crude in Naira, they will still have to convert it to dollar to operate at the global market.
Izeze points to systemic inefficiencies as a key barrier to its success.
Why is petrol not coming down to 500 and 600? And what makes it very difficult for the production of petrol that everybody is speaking big grammar of 1,000? Is it not these things these boys are doing in the Niger Delta? Is it not these things they are doing? Is it not the same cracking? I challenge them to tell us how much Port Harcourt is churning out on daily basis into the Nigerian market. How much is Warri churning out on daily basis into the Nigerian market? Let's start from there. Because if we get to know, we will now know our daily consumption, not all those criminal calculations that we do 66 million every day. Where? Then the custom people will tell you that half of that goes across the border to Togo, Dahomey, and Niger. Whose responsibility is it to guard the border? Is it not the same government?
Apollo Ebekiri echoes Izeze's concerns but shifts some blame to the former management of Nigerian National Petroleum Commission Limited (NNPCL). He attributes recent petrol price volatility to their missteps, which he claims exacerbated market instability.
All of us are happy that subsidy is removed, but the intricate situation was not properly addressed before we made that pronouncement. If not, because that refinery came, all these refineries they claim to be revamping and reactivating over the years will not come to swim, because that model has come in, and since the removal of Kiari and these people came in, they said that there is no more contract matter. The thing should be on stream.
However, the Enugu State Chairman of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Chinedu Anyaso, urges patience. He acknowledges the deal's potential but cautions that its benefit will take time to materialize. Anyaso attributes current fuel price inconsistencies to the competitive tendencies between NNPCL and Dangote Refinery, noting that independent marketers adjust prices based on market dynamics to protect their margins.
We are talking about a deregulated sector, and you sell whatever you feel you bought. That is adding your cost and all that. So, but then the prevailing price within our environment is 920 to 950. Wow. In Dangote is 835. But our constraints in Dangote is that you cannot buy a truck from Dangote. In other places there, you buy 840, 845. Then you now add cost of loading of the products, which is about 2 naira, 3 naira, depending on the case. Then you now talk about transportation of such products. Sometimes 14 naira, 30 naira, depending on where you are coming down from. Times for 5 naira, depending. And so when you add all these costs together, you arrive at your selling price.
At Chuswell Oil and Gas, the manager, Solomon Ibe, aligns with Ipman's perspective. He calls for stronger government action to stabilize Nigeria's broader economy, emphasizing that the deal alone cannot address deep-rooted issues.
If they allow our refinery to be working effectively, as far as we have the crude oil, the thing will not go up, the thing will be coming down. But in a situation whereby they will be importing, the importing of that fuel will make the price of fuel to go up.
Meanwhile, tricycle riders in Enugu are feeling the pinch, struggling with soaring fuel costs. They tell Signature TV that up to 80% of their daily earnings now go towards fuel, leaving little for basic needs.
It is not easy. If you watch out now, you see many people have been trekking, walking from their own destination to wherever. It's because of the price of the fuel. It is not smiling. So if government can hear this, we let them adjust the normal price for the masses to continue.
Some of us are riding hyper-chest. Some of us are they get going down on themselves. Understand? So how can somebody that's riding hyper-chest will survive in this price of fuel? Okay, some people came here and introduced us for CNG keke, understand? But we can't afford it, understand? But to go and convert keke to CNG, they are possible money. So we are not happy that it is like that here.
As the Naira-For-Crude deal continues, Nigerians await tangible results with hopes pinned on government's efforts to ease the burden on citizens and stabilize the volatility in the energy markets. In Enugu, Emmanuel Tewasi, Signature TV News.